Okay, so this question was question 1 of the extended response. I'm sorry I don't have all the rest of the question typed out on this. I'm just getting used to using this new application. Anyway, so question part A of this question, you are asked to determine how many cars per hour can currently enter Cranwell's road network. And I think there were some interpretation issues with this question. So you needed to see how many cars were flowing into the network, not necessarily what the maximum flow was through the network, okay? So for part A, the answer was 230. Okay, so for part B, you were asked to calculate the capacity of cut 1. So most people could do that. So that was 50 plus 100 plus 80. So also 230. Okay. And then for part 2, you were asked to explain why it was not necessary to upgrade the roads currently crossed by cut 1. So you needed to say something that showed that you understood that if you have 230 coming into this network, and if those 3 roads under cut 1 allow 230 cars through, then there would be no reason to upgrade. You're already allowing the number of cars that can enter through the network. Up until that point you are anyway. So you needed to say something that showed you understood that. So this next part C, you were told that the maximum flow through the network is currently 150 cars per hour, and you were asked to mark in the cut that determines this maximum flow on the network above. So only 43% answered this correctly. So you should have been able, given the information you were given, been able to find where that cut would occur. So for 150, the cut would go through 10, 100 and through 40. Okay. So I'll just say that was as shown. Now for part D, you were asked what is the maximum number of extra cars per hour along this road. Oh, sorry, go back a bit. So council is considering upgrading the road between B and G. So let's just have a look. That was this road. B and G. Okay, we currently have 100 flowing through there. So council is considering upgrading the road between B and G, and what is the maximum number of extra cars per hour along this road that the council should aim to allow by their upgrade? So you've already determined, the minimum cut, which is your maximum flow, and that is going to be 150. And 230 cars can get into the network and 230 cars can get out of the network. So you're asked, how much bigger can I make this road, B to G, to make sure 230 get through? And I've already got 150 going through. So I need to find the difference between 230 and 150 that are already getting through. So the difference would be 80, and that's your answer for D. You're then asked, or you're then told that instead of doing that, upgrading road B to G, a new road might be added, and it might be added between D and G. I'll just draw it in now. So looking at this question now for D, so you're told they're considering this, question part 1. So if we put this road in D to G, you're asked what is the minimum capacity of this road that is required so that the maximum flow of traffic through the network is achieved. So you do have to do a little bit of thinking here. Now, if you look at where that road originates from, D to G, coming into that road to that intersection, we have 50 cars coming from B to D. So if we've got 50 cars coming in there, and that's sort of the maximum that can come in there, then there's no point making this road D and G any bigger than 50. So you have to sort of work that out first. But then if you look and you see there's another road, D to F, that can carry 10 of those 50 coming in, then if you're looking for the minimum that you can make that road to get that maximum possible flow through, then it has to be 40, okay? Now, for part 2, so many of you could draw in this road, and if you put the amount you worked out for part 1 in there, you probably got a mark for that, even if it was the incorrect amount. Okay, now the last part of E is asking you now what will the maximum flow through this network be after the road is built. So you needed then to evaluate your cuts again, but if you thought about it and thought about what your previous minimum cut was, which was your 40 and 110, which makes 150. Well, now you've just really added in this road under that cut, which is worth 40. So this is now going to be the 150 that you had before plus that new road, and it's going to be 190. Now, if you weren't sure about that, but you know how to do cuts and find the minimum cut, then you could simply redo that with the road inserted. So by taking lots of different cuts, you would work out that was your minimum cut with that new road included.